I've always known that I was going to be an actor. It wasn't like it was just something in me. I've always been into writing since I was very little. I kept a journal since I can't remember, I was probably 7 years old, and I've been writing journals forever. I haven't done it for a while, which is weird, I guess because I've been busy, but I think that was already in me since I was born. Is that weird to say? I think those things happen to some people, that they're just born that way and it just sticks with them. And I probably could have been something different. I don't know. I could have been a great businesswoman, probably. Uh, but I would have been doing a lot of storytelling, I'm pretty sure. Hello, my name is María Albiñana. I'm an actor, a dancer, producer, writer, creator, and choreographer. And I live right now in Valencia, Spain.
Hello, and welcome to another segment of Push. Today, I am completely thrilled to be talking with Maria Albinana from
Oh,
Spain.
that was good. That was good, Caris. What a
Oh,
good it. What a good way of saying my name because everyone gets it wrong. So
I've been
I've been called
practicing.
Nana, Maria, yeah, everything.
I have a tough last name too, so I understand that. Maria, welcome, and thank you for really, thank you. I know you're very busy. Thanks for
Thank you
taking
so
time.
much for having me. I was so happy that you called me. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'm thrilled. I'm
really fun.
thrilled. So we're going to talk about being a female creator and filmmaker and everything that's involved in that and what this word push means. What does it mean? Um,
That is what we all do, right? Push. That's what the whole, I think everyone, I don't think it's only about female, it's about
sure.
everyone that's in this industry. It's just pushing all the time. And I always think that no matter in what level you are of this whole stage, you're always pushing. Even Steven Spielberg, I'm sure he's pushing. Even everyone's pushing.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it's not only men. We women have different challenges, but equivalent kind of dreams and hopes, desires that you have to set forth, right? I've been thinking lately about the how much do you push and when you back off, like the ebb and flow of a tide, like it's got to come crashing in sometimes. And then other times you have to sit back, and there's that balance that in this industry, it's hard for me anyway, it's hard to maintain. Is it for you too? Because we have to get so much done.
I think I've learned with the years. Before it was all about pushing and pushing, and it was so important, and I couldn't let it go. And as if I was going into this self race, that I think it's important because as a creator, you don't have anyone to compete with except, I mean, it's yourself, right?
Right.
So, but I think I've gotten to a point that there's other things in life, and I'm not in this mad rush that if I haven't done this, it's like, of course, I would like to, but I'm not gonna kill myself on the way. Like
Right.
I know that now. And also, I guess because I've been creating quite a lot in the last year, so it's kind of settled me a little bit. I guess if I hadn't been creating, I would be like, no, I need to do, be doing
Right.
things right now, be pushing. But yeah, I think because I'm an actor, so I'm always like depending on people. But the moment you become your own boss and you tell your own stories, then you have a power where you go like, oh, I can do this. I can do it this way, and I can create it for myself, and I can make myself do this. So that's very interesting. It gives you a power as an actor that I think all actors should have
Yes.
because we're all storytellers at the end.
Right. And I've found with what I've been creating and doing past, over a decade now, certainly with Pepper and with other projects I've been involved in, even in a way of consulting, it's so gratifying. It's so fulfilling, sometimes so much more fulfilling than a big job or, TV or, something that is industry recognized. There's just a personal satisfaction, I think. Do you find that?
Yeah. Totally, totally. It's like I can do this, and I do it very good.
Yeah.
Because no one's gonna come to tell you. this is a very hard industry and we're all competing. And so, and I guess it also gives you, as a creator, it gives you a lot of insight when you produce and when you write, it gives you a lot of insight as an actor to go like, oh, now I understand certain decisions when you're in a project, or it's just given me a lot more understanding of the whole industry in a way. And it's made me, yeah, I don't know, it's made me more calm. I don't know how to explain, but I
No, that's
guess
great. There is a different perspective when you're in charge of everything, or fueling something from the ground up. You kind of see how the
yeah,
pieces have to fall. Yeah. Where do your ideas come from?
from my life, from my own experiences, and from the way I see the world. Yeah,
Great.
but especially from my, yeah, from my life, from my personal experiences.
How do you develop your ideas into written stories?
Well, I guess the last three projects have been developed alongside my partner. Um, and it's just been a like a coincidence, like something that was not planned. And then it just happened. It always it's always started as a life, yeah, from a life experience, or even before these last three projects, I've been in other projects that I've written, and they've just come out because I had the need to say something or point out something about my life, or the way I was looking at the world at that moment. I wrote a play many years ago. I was very young. I was probably in my 20s or 20 something, and there was a need that someone called me and said, "Would you direct this?" This was the first time I was directing, and I said, "Yes, of course. Why not?" Uh, because I always say yes to things, because I think I can do them, even though I had never done it before. And I was meant to direct this play that was not written, and so I called everyone possible to try and write it. And by doing this whole thing of trying to convince people to write it, I ended up going like, I can write this. Like I've been talking about it for so long that now I can write it. And so it was just in me. So yeah, I guess, I don't know, developing things, it's always hard
Right.
for a creator.
Right. You are an accomplished actress, creator, writer, director, storyteller, producer. I mean, just a total dynamo. You do it all, like you said. You say yes, and you do it with such skill, proficiency, and to such a high degree, Maria. It's always been impressive to me. You're someone that I admire and look up to, and you're inspiring. And we met years ago, and I had a great time at Sicily Web Fest. Remember that? We
I
were
remember,
we were
I
dancing on
remember
that
actually
floor.
our talk on the boat. I remember
Yeah,
that so clearly.
exactly. Me too. Tell us about some projects that you've done recently that are significant or mean a lot to you, and also just a bit about some of your early work in the web world as an actor and a creator.
Yeah, so in 2020, I started, or I don't know how we started, I guess, due to the pandemic. My partner and I started a crazy project that has completely taken our entire 3 years of our life, and has taken us to beautiful places and has made me a much better actor, has made me a producer, a writer. Yeah. We started with Cancelled, which was a series that was born during the pandemic about a real life experience that my partner and I were going through, which was canceling our wedding 2 days before the wedding. And so that became, I'm not going to go a lot into it, but that
Right.
just became viral. I had a blast. I'm now saying I had a blast, but probably I thought I was going to die during during the production of Cancelled.
I'll tell you,
But
it was amazing to see what you were doing, and people were myself here living in New York in such complete dire isolation, were hanging on every episode. I mean, it was something to wait to, it was talk about waiting to drop. It was like, I cannot wait for this next episode to drop. It was a lifeline in a way, I have to say.
I have to say that I didn't know what we were doing at the, I mean, we knew what we were doing, but we didn't know the how big that was going to become,
Right,
because I thought it was a story. I thought it was a personal story. And now I've realized that personal stories, that is, everything's so universal. We all go through the same things, right?
right,
And I thought that no one would be interested in this little relationship story, and it's not true, because we've all been through those things and through those same emotions.
right.
And from there, Recancel was born. At that time, my daughter was born too. And then we went into UnCancelled, which became a feature film. It was the first time I've written a feature film. It was actually, Cancelled was the first time I had written anything in English before, because
Wow.
yeah, because by this point I had written things, but in Spanish, of course, because I'm from Spain. So Cancel was the first thing that I wrote in English, and it was the first script that I had written in my whole life. So now my problem is that when I try to write in Spanish a script, it doesn't come out. It comes in English. So that's because I had written plays before, but that's a whole different dynamo, and
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's just dynamic difference. And after UnCancelled, I've got another project that has now been selected for Content Americas, which is happening this next year. A TV series, black comedy. I'm really looking forward to finish this
Wow.
project, because it's such a lot of fun. Every time I write, I'm like, oh, this is just going to be amazing to watch. Yeah, and then as an actress, I shot right after UnCancelled, which was we released last year theatrically, and now it's on different platforms. It's in Australia. It's been sold here in Spain. It's been on Movistar Plus and other platforms, so it's doing really good. I went to shoot
It's
another movie.
fantastic. It's great. It's fantastic. I loved it. Oh,
Thank you. I
thank
went to shoot Tierra Negra from Alberto Morais, who is quite an upcoming famous director. I've worked with him before. He's got a very particular look and yeah, and aesthetic. So it's very interesting working with him as an actor, because you've got to do everything to try not to act, which is very difficult because he
Yeah,
just wants
yeah,
like nothing. And so I remember 2 days ago, I was talking to him and he was like, "Oh, you look great in the movie." I was like, "Oh," because it hasn't been released yet. And I said, "Oh, thanks." And I said, "I hope you got what you wanted," because I have no idea what I was doing. And he
right.
said, "No, you totally know what you're doing." I'm like, "No, it's so complicated to work with you, because I have to do everything possible to try not to move anything. Don't like he doesn't want any inflections. Like it's really a challenge, like a
Wow.
real yeah, yeah. So, but his movies are amazing. Yeah. And so that's me lately. And
It's a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah,
It's
it's
wonderful.
been I have the feeling that since the pandemic I've been living in like a washing machine all the
Oh,
time.
wow.
That hasn't stopped. And because also my life has changed. I've moved countries. I was living in LA. Now I live back in Spain.
Right.
It's yeah, it's been a lot. And now I'm happy that not a lot is happening in a way, which is weird, but I'm kind of like glad that I don't have any. I have this project that I'm going to Miami soon in a month's time, but it's I'm a creator. It's different. It's not like producing. I a big yeah, big high
It's
five to
everything.
all producers. I don't know how you guys do it out there. You'll probably
Yeah.
die young. I'm so sorry, but producers, man, they don't have a long life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I remember finishing Cancelled, and another our co-producer was like, "Maria, you're so good at it. I'm gonna call you again." I'm like, "Don't ever call me. I don't want to work as a producer. Like, do not.
I
I don't want a job as a producer." It's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Because I don't want to do it. I'll do it
know.
for my own projects." because I do like to have control, but not for other people's projects. I don't want
Right.
to do it.
Right, right. No, I get that too. It is, I mean, it's everything. It's everything. It's in a way I like it because when you're wearing a number of different hats, you do know what is going on in many capacities, and creatively you can guide and collaborate. But people always ask me, why don't you edit? And I say, I have to have one thing that I don't have my hands on, and I also need another eye on the work, right? You can't you have to have other opinions and an attitude and influence on seeing your work, because you can get very self-absorbed in it. So it's good to have a little bit of distance with some things. But
Yeah, but I have to say that sometimes it depends on the person. But I think if you have experience and you trust your guts and it normally works out, you should trust your guts
right,
because
I do
there's
trust my
no one,
vision.
yeah, the no one better than you is gonna know what's going on in your movie.
Right. And that does happen when I do sit with the editors and guide something, even if it's, one of those videos. I did so many of those festival videos that I know what I want with it. You have to, I'm glad you said that. You have to trust your gut and trust the vision. I mean, there's been many
Yeah,
times when I had to go back and get another shot because it wasn't going to be the same if I did not have a particular shot. And then
totally.
that whole sequence wasn't going to flow. So you're right. It's a really good point to trust your gut.
Yeah, I think it's important. I learned that a lot from John Strasberg, which is Lee Strasberg's son. And I remember doing a workshop with him, and he said some actors work with their instinct and others don't. And it depends on what kind of person you are, because if your instincts are shit, you shouldn't work with them, of course. But he said, which is, he's got a point. And he said, but in your case, Maria, you've got a very good instinct because I'm very exactly that. I go, I'm not the typical actor that would sit and do a lot of research. It doesn't work with me that way because I get very constrained. Would you say
Hmm.
that word?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and also the things that I've been doing before, way before Cancelled, I directed, I wrote, I directed a musical. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was I directed an opera too.
Wow.
So, like if it wasn't because I were like, no, I can do this. And I was in my 20s and I had never done this before, but that's how you start. And they offered me, they wanted like, do you
Right.
want to do this? I was like, sure. I'm not gonna call anyone else to do it. Why? If they've given me the chance and they believe in me and I believe in myself, of course, then you learn through the
Right.
process. That's how you. But yeah, I think I've always trusted my instinct a lot and it's worked out good every time up till now. So,
Yeah. No, it's good. Don't change it. Don't change that pattern. It's good. Tell us a little bit about Cinema Jove, the festival that you're involved with in Valencia.
so yeah, it's gonna be now 10 years that I
Oh,
funded the I know it's insane. 10 years. I started the series section. At the beginning was short form section at the International Film Festival in Valencia. And well, through the years, its short form has changed a lot. I don't know what short form is anymore, to be honest, and I don't know where the boundary is anymore. I don't think it really matters.
I think
Because
that's a really good statement to make. I think that it's so loose and fluid and undefined. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it has changed so much. Yep.
it's changed, and a lot of platforms are doing short form and 30-minute episodes and 20-minute episodes, and it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
I, yeah, I do think that short form, it gives a lot of freedom and it gives you the opportunity to do your own thing, which is fantastic. And so, yeah, it's been a thing that I started and little by little has been growing like more and more. And I'm this past year, it was the ninth edition. So we're celebrating this next June, the 10th edition. And I said last year we have a lot of different panels and we bring people from different parts of the world. And I remember sitting and someone from the audience that she's a filmmaker, very famous filmmaker here in Spain, came over and said, Maria, you really know what you're talking about. And I said, lastly, I know what I'm talking about 9 years later. I know what I'm talking about. Because for 9 years, I've kind of been trying to figure out exactly what short form was and what creating was. And I've learned a lot from watching hundreds of series from around the world, and also the way they pitch things, the way they send material. Like it's amazing when you receive material, how much you learn because you go like, oh damn, why did you send this still? Or damn, why are you doing this trailer? Like it's so bad. Or no, or the other, or different, or sometimes they write like a little bio and you go like, oh, this is so fantastic because it doesn't make me, that I'm sitting there watching 100 shows, having to scroll through information. It just makes it easy. So I've just learned a lot, and it fills my heart when it turns to June and all the creators come and I can just like it's like a puzzle because I try to like join them and go like, you should work with this and you should work with that and you guys should work together. Like I love doing that. I just love like being like they call me many years ago like a hen with her chickens. Like I
Yeah.
take them all together. Let's go here. And this trying to give them
Well, I
the
love it.
whole experience, and but also try to, I don't know, I would like to go to a festival and be worth it. I know how much it takes for people to travel to festivals, the expenses. And then you get out of the festival and you go like, oh, this was shit. Like I haven't really done any connections, or it really didn't work out. And
Yeah.
because I know that, I just want people to make the most out of it.
That's a
I try.
great
I don't push people to, but I try.
that's a great goal and a great vision. Clearly you're accomplishing it. It's going to be 10 years, so it's been going on. So people are attending the festival, attracted to it. I can't wait to come someday. I know it's terrific. And
You have to. You'd love it. And it's in June. Like the city is beautiful at that point. It's so sunny. Yeah, it's great. And
yeah,
Valencia is like a great city because everything's so close that you're just walking everywhere. You've got like there's outdoor screenings of fabulous movies that you haven't watched. And then sometimes you have like, I think last year we had, I can't remember, but they do like cycles of like famous filmmakers. So it's just fantastic.
right. Wow. Were you the storyline of Karen, Luke's mom, being overwhelmed by being recognized all the time? Was that something that was happening in the city a little bit or
Not to that extent, but yes, with my family it did happen because everyone knew her. So while lockdown, of course, Karen never, we were meant to get married and Karen was meant to meet my family, but that never happened. And she left 3 months later, back to Australia without meeting my family.
wow.
She only met my mom briefly, and that was it. Um, but then when she arrived to the actual wedding, because we did an actual wedding, a real one that is not the one on screen, everyone, like it was like crazy. Everyone was like, Karen, and everyone was asking after her, which was weird for me too, because I was like, my cousins were like, and how's Karen? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her. I guess she's good. I don't know, because I mean, I talk to, but it's normally through my partner that I talk to her. I
Right.
don't call her.
Yeah.
So it was just weird that everyone would, and also she's got a very particular physique, and so everyone would recognize her. I remember during Cancelled, it happened already, that which was the first series, that we went to the bakery, the three of us with a mask, and I remember the woman at the bakery goes like, "Oh, it's you guys," and I go like, "Oh." And I said, yeah, but thinking that it was because she was a neighbor, it's like the local bakery. So I thought, yeah,
Oh,
it's me, the neighbor. And so I went, yeah. She goes like, yeah, from that movie. I'm like, oh no. And this is when I became an actor. And I was like, no, 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 I'm an actor, but you haven't watched me yet in anything because the last movie I did in Australia. She goes like, what? I'm like, what? What are we talking about? She goes like, isn't it that series that you guys are in called something about cancer? I'm like, oh yeah, it's us. It
yeah.
was such a weird moment because we were not, I think we were just
Expecting
not,
that.
Of course, we just did
Yeah.
not expect it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought it was
So,
a really interesting story. I thought that was a really interesting storyline to weave in there into the whole thing to again, it's a brilliant film. I love it. I bought it.
it
So,
also, thank you.
yeah.
I think it also gave the opportunity for Karen to explain at the end. She has a big monologue, which was worked on a lot, and which it gives the opportunity. I get emotional every time I talk about this because it's
Hey,
not about, I'm sorry,
no, this is what it's about.
it's not about Karen specifically. It's about every woman who gets to a certain age, right? And she's given everything for the family, for the kids. And it just gets to a point where you go like, you know what? Fuck you guys. It's my time. It's my moment. And I want to do this. You guys have been living your life for, because you've got like grown up kids and they've been doing their own thing. And then they come back to you. And we're
Yeah,
like, Mom, you shouldn't do this. Mom, you shouldn't do that. Mom, you're too old to do that. And you go like, fuck you guys. I'm sorry. And I think this is something that women don't do enough. Like, let, just like keep our space and have our space and our moment. Because
yeah,
maybe it happens a lot more to moms because, of course, you're just like giving, 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 giving all the time without expecting. And it just gets to a moment. I don't know. I'm just a very early mom. I mean, she's only 3 years old, so I don't
right.
know. But when I'm probably, I don't know, when she's probably 40, I'll be like, you know what? Just leave me alone and don't tell me what to do. Because yeah, and so it depends then on each
I think it's a
woman's
universal
personality.
experience from what I
But
understand.
yeah,
No,
but
that was
I think it happens to every woman. It's a very common feeling. So I think giving that voice to Karen gave the opportunity, I think, to highlight something that a lot of women maybe might be going through
no,
at this age.
it was for me, it was a great plot twist. And I thought, wow, she's going back. She's going back to the hotel where she was staying. And she's, I'm just going to stay here. And there was a piece that came in that for her. And I thought, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
sad because she was missing the wedding after the first series and the second series. It was like, what? You have to be there. But anyway, again, everyone has to see this movie. It's fantastic. There's so many different journeys in it
There is.
and so well shot and so well directed and beautifully acted by all of you. I mean, Luke, budding actor, here he is now,
I
really
know.
great, you
He's
know?
so, yeah, he's so natural. It's so
Hmm.
easy to work with him. As an actor, of course, he was very worried. He had never done it before until canceled. And then, like with uncanceled was different because he had done it before. But of course, it's like a massive crew. There were days where we were like 100 people on set. And so he was always very worried about it, but he's just so, it's the timing that he has. It's not only how natural he is, it's just like the timing.
Hmm.
He's got quite a perfect timing. He never rushes things. He listens. He actually listens, which is
Yeah.
so important when acting.
Yep. Yep. And not a lot of people do. So
Same
I get
time,
that.
he's directing, so I don't really
Right.
know how he does it. But
Right. I want to ask you a question since you are a mom bringing this in. How is the creation to full production process similar literally to giving birth, if you can compare?
I went through both, so at the
I
same time. Uh, I think being a mom is easier, in my opinion. Giving
Oh my
birth is,
God.
even though my birth, like the birth of my daughter was a bit traumatic, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess with a kid you don't think about is it worth doing it, But when you're in a project, you go like, oh, is it really worth what I'm doing? And you go
Right.
through that almost every day when you wake up and there's like 100 problems and everyone's calling on your phone and you're like, oh my God, why am I doing this? But with a kid, I had never had that problem.
Right. Right.
It was like, yeah, like I never go like, oh, is this really worth it? I don't go through those moments. of course it's hard, but I've got a very easy kid, I have to say. So
That's good.
she's fantastic.
Well, she's got
Yeah.
two great parents, so I'm sure that rubs off there.
Thank you.
When you launch a project, do you feel like it is a giving of yourself, though? Do you feel like it is a release in some way, like a giving of a birth in some way? And if it's not
Yeah.
correlating, that's okay too.
Yeah. It's I don't know. For me it just feels different.
Okay.
Because I go into business mode when I'm launching a project, and I become very, very practical, very entrepreneur. Like I'm actually able to really go out of like me being an actor in the project, and I'm not thinking. Yeah, I don't know. It's where I just become like an external part in the movie, and I just have to launch it. And so I just put all my effort into that, but not thinking like sometimes when we've been selling the project, I don't really make a point like I'm in it and I'm so good in it. Like,
Right.
yeah, a lot of people were like, "Oh, isn't it weird to see yourself?" I'm like, "No, because every time I watch it, I never see myself. Like it's even though I'm playing myself, or I'm playing myself in a certain situation, and
Right.
the the character is called, Maria, the same names. But I don't know, it's just like a different person. I don't know how to explain. I don't
Yeah,
feel
no,
it's
I
me.
I get it. It's interesting what you're saying about it. I didn't think of that. I hear what you're saying about going into business mode and getting that aspect of it done, maybe from a creator producerial standpoint, rather than having more of a attachment to it, right? And I think we need
Yeah.
to do that. There needs to be a kind of a separation. Talking business, talking what's working, how it was, what happened. There's a distance. There's a little bit of a scope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that you're honest with what you've done. I think that's very important because I don't know, but I'm always very not critical, but I really know what I've made. I
Right.
know what's good in it, and I know what's not that good. And I know the strong points, or what I can really sell, and other things, like I know I
Right.
haven't done it's not Titanic, it's not, I know all of those things.
Right.
So I'm not trying to sell it as, oh, this amazing masterpiece. It's not that. That's what no, I haven't made that for many reasons. But I do know what I've made, and I do know the strong points of it. So I think that's important too, as a creator, that you really know what your product is.
Right. That's excellent. That's an excellent point. Thank you for saying that. What are your current challenges or obstacles in creating now in terms of this year? Now, this could be financial climate, industry access, political arena, anything you want to discuss about that, if you care to.
Oh,
Clearly, I know you're saying, going through the pandemic, a
yeah,
lot,
yeah. But the pandemic for me was positive.
yeah,
Like I just have found I just find it very difficult to be called, because at the end, I've, this is weird. Maybe I'm a bit old now, but I've become this person that right now I just want to be in a daily series where I just have like a very small role, probably 2 lines per day, something like that, something easy that I go get my check and go back home.
yeah,
I was talking to another actor, and she was like pissing herself laughing. She was like, "I can't believe you're saying that." I'm like, "I can't believe I'm saying that either." But I don't want like big roles unless they're very interesting, and then
right,
you go all into it, or they're paying me a lot of money. But I'm not like right now in my life, I'm not in that moment of I want to do
right,
this, and I wish they would call me. I would do it without payment. No way, that's not happening.
right.
So finding um
Sounds like
I'm finding
balance.
sorry.
Sounds like balance.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just guess I'm not tired. It's just that it just gets to a moment that you go like, I'm not gonna do it. I know who I am. I know what
Right,
I've done. I
right,
put a lot of effort and a lot of money in training, and I know what I'm capable of doing. If there's nothing out there that can happen for me, and very difficult because I understand as I've been producing, I've been creating. I haven't, when I had the opportunity to call a lot of actors, I didn't went on to this whole audition world. I just called the people who I know because I knew they were going to be good actors. They were going to respond. They were going to do the job properly, and that's because it's money at the end. It's just a business. I think I've become very, this is a business and it works as a business because it has to work as a business. And so as
Right.
an actor, it's very frustrating because you're not like that.
Right.
But that's the reality in the world we live. And if you want to work, that's how it is. So I don't take personally when they say no and I get a lot of no's, of course. But normally now the projects that I get in, I don't audition anymore. They just call me, which is fantastic because they've
That's
seen me,
great.
they know me, and I don't have to go through all this whole process. And the last movie I was in, he was like, "Do you mind auditioning?" I was like, "No, cool." Like I was like, "I'm cool with that if you need me to audition." But I don't over prepare anything either because I'm sick and tired of self-taping. It's draining, it's not paid. I don't know why I'm doing it or why I'm setting up my whole house as a set when they're just sitting down. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't work for me. Maybe I don't work anymore. Well, maybe I don't work, but I'll create my own projects.
Right. I
So
think I mean, know a lot of people here feel the same way. You're not alone. And so it's interesting. That's
yeah.
global. That is global. I'm finding conversations that I'm having the same and conversations I've had before I started this project, the same thing. I hear what you're saying there. It does kind of make a diminishment of desire and ambition. It's like, well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, there's really nothing I can do. They're just kind of scrolling through people on the in the queue,
Yeah.
right?
And at the end of the day, they're gonna like roles that are really significant, they're gonna call someone that they know or
Yeah.
someone that they've seen before. That's what happens because I would never call anyone. I mean, it would be very rare. It happens, yes, but someone that you've never worked with before who goes into that world, without knowing the actor or knowing, mentally how they are because at the end of the day you're working with people. It's not about only the talent. You're working with people. You're spending 16 hours on set with people, and there's a lot of stress. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that goes bad every day, and you have to make decisions. And
You
yeah,
want a good
and
team
so
around you, whether it's in front of the camera or behind. I understand that too. You
and you
want
will
this,
still have problems
yeah,
because it happens. But
exactly. So you want the least amount of issue on top of
yeah,
all of that. Yeah.
yeah. But
So
I think yeah, I also feel that now it's a lot to do. Maybe now it's changing, but I have the feeling that it's all about young people, and apparently only young people exist and no one else exists. And so if you're above a certain age, your time has passed and you go like, fuck, have we all died after 30 or what happens? There's no one around. And so, yeah, you come to realize that this is history. History is like a pendulum and it just goes from side to side.
right.
And now we're at a time where female rocks and being diverse is the best in the world, and which is fantastic. But I think
Yes.
everything, great, every not being diverse is also fantastic, and not being female is also fantastic. But
Right.
I do have to say that women have it a lot more difficult than men. And so I think it's our time. And if they get screwed a little bit, well, they've had many years of being, on top of the world. So it's okay for them now. I'm sorry for,
Here, here.
but
No, it's true. And that's honest. And it's and getting back to why we push and why we have to, because it is traditionally and will always be a very male dominant industry in terms of the decision making and the power and the money. So I hear that. This has
but
been
I'm
so,
glad that it's changing and that at least now they've got because we're also aware about what's happening that at
yes,
least men have that like a little alarm here that you can't say you might think the same way, but you can't say certain things, or you have to. They're forced to do different things. So I'm glad that that's happening, even though deep down they might have not changed at all.
right, right,
But that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of decades. Takes generations.
right. And we hope we're around to see some of it anyway, a little bit. It's, it's
I hope
here,
so.
it's there.
That's what my
Um,
mom always wished. But she sometimes she looks at me and goes like, unfortunately, it hasn't changed. So I don't know.
What do you hope your legacy to be as a creator?
Wow. Uh, I just you're gonna make me cry. Um,
Sorry.
I just hope that when my daughter watches Recancel, and Uncancelled, she's very proud of us. That's it. And if anyone out there has watched anything that I've done as an actor, as a writer, and has been touched or has felt that I understood them at some point, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I would say Isabella couldn't help not be proud of you. And
I don't know. Let's see when she gets to as a teenager and she sees herself as a kid and she goes like, "Mom, why did you do this to me?" So we're not doing it again.
yeah.
So unless she asks for it, but I've had a lot of people go like, "Oh, why don't you?" I'm like, "No, no, no. My daughter
No,
is
it
not."
was I thought it was lovely and it was small. It wasn't a lot, it was small.
Oh, and I really cut it off because
Yeah.
Luke was like really trying to put her in there. I was like, no, no, no. Like I
Yeah.
became her agent
Yeah.
actually. Set. Yeah, it got to a certain time and I was like, that's it. And Luke was like, we don't have it. I'm like, I don't care. She's going home. She's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
I like
whatever
that there
you.
was just peaks, just a little peak, just a little smattering. It made it more interesting.
Yeah, we had to have her because we had her birth
Of
in
course, right.
UnCancelled. So you
Of
had to
course.
have a kid. We actually thought about it's so weird. We thought about putting another kid because we really didn't want our daughter to be in it. And then we thought, where are we gonna find a 1-year-old that feels good on set with two weird parents there that they haven't seen before? So we thought it has to be our daughter. And
Right.
so of course she was like walking around saying, like talking to the DP, hi Gabo, and hi blah blah blah. And of course it was Nana and my mom, yeah, yeah.
Right.
So for her it was all family. She had a lot of fun,
Oh, it was so
but
precious.
she's a one-take actress.
Yeah. She's good. She's perfect, right? A lot of talent there in her. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you. Is there anything
No.
else you want to add? And the answer to that last question was beautiful. Thank you for your, vulnerability there. And I really like what you said about someone watching a performance of yours or a character of yours feels understood. I mean, isn't
Yeah.
that's so much of what we do and what we strive to do as performers, as actors.
I
So,
guess I guess you never really know what people are thinking, but with Cancel, it gave us the opportunity. I'm talking about Cancel because it was the first series and it really made an impact in both of us. But it gave us the opportunity to have direct feedback from people and just listening or reading the comments of people every day, every single day, about how much they felt understood or how much it meant to them to watch that series. I don't know, just I think it opened my eyes and it made me realize I was so grateful that we actually put it up on Facebook Watch and that no platform at the moment was able, because we spoke with a lot and they were like, oh, we're so interested. And we were like, yeah, but we're launching like next month. And we're like, oh, we can't do that. I'm like, well, we're doing it. It has to happen. And we put it up on Facebook Watch. And that it was a gift. Just
yeah,
doing that, it was a gift. It gave us the opportunity to just have like a direct talk with our viewers. And that was amazing.
right. Yeah,
Someone that was like, I remember this woman that lived in like a little coastal city in Mexico, but she was American and she had like very little Wi-Fi, but she would write to us. I was like, what is this woman doing with her life, And she was like, oh my God, this story, and I just feel so connected to you guys. And we still now today we have people writing to us and asking, how's your daughter? Of course, we don't reply to personal stuff,
right.
but they feel that they're part of our life. And so that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's what a connection you made all over the world, globally,
Yeah,
right? During that
yeah,
time. you know?
it was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Just been, I knew it was going to be great and it was better than I could have anticipated. And thank you.